Luba takes it very seriously, like we're on a, a movie set. Hello, we are live. What's up, guys? I'm gonna let people pile into this first. Once you guys can hear me or you see me, someone post in the chat. Say what's up. That title is a banger. Yeah. I was gonna make it how to go from Lonely Doomer to Chad Light, but I didn't know if everyone knew what like a Chad Light was. I don't know how you guys are, how familiar you are with the autism on the internet these days. What's up, guys? Boom, appreciate it, man. Yeah, someone also said this. They're like, the only two people that teach pickup anymore are Todd V and Austin Summers. So it's kind of yeah, so far I haven't really done any hard announcement yet that the course is live. So there's already 26 people who got in. What's up, man? Cool. So now that some people are in here, we got I think 25 people watching. I'll just go into the intro. So yeah, today I'm going to accent some of my journey in terms of like how I went from a lonely doomer to actually dating models. So a couple of the girls I've dated, one was a signed model who did like wedding shoots and like print media and this type of stuff. And then one later became a Maxim model. I've also dated a porn star. I've dated girls that were, the Instagram models that link stuff. So I've dated kind of a wide variety of that kind of space. And I guess one of the main things about demystifying it is that it's not that big of a deal. These are just people. I think that's one of the things in general that game teaches you is that women are women and women generally react to the same things. But we'll go into more of that later. Nice, Lubo. Cheers from Europe. What are you doing in Europe, Lubo? Bracelet, rings, earrings. I like them. I think I call them fuck triggers. It's like when you look at a guy that has nothing, like right now I have nothing. It looks kind of just plain. And then if you see a guy with just, a nice watch, maybe a nice little Cuban chain, it looks really good. Rings can be overdone very easily. So I think like one or two rings max, and then kind of get over that. Cool. So I got a lot of shit in the way. I'm going to open this up. Let's see. I'm going to play a little teaser for you guys. Why can't this open? 1 second. We have to move this out of the way. Okay, cool. Open with QuickTime. Boom. So I tested this before. I should be able to share audio now, which is nice. I'm becoming more of a streamer every day. So video file and then teaser. You want to take your game from this?
What are you into? Nothing.
So I pause it. Okay. So I guess I'll preface this. So this is a teaser for the course coming up. Just tells you a little bit about it. And a lot of people still don't know what's going on. So I'm going to play it. Do you want to take your game from this?
What are you into? Nothing.
To this?
I'm gonna molest you right now. There's no way you're escaping me.
Why are you so good?
While you may understand my transformation, you may not know that I've taught over 1,000 people all over the world in person to transform using the same framework. And I've distilled everything I've learned into this one course. Most courses only give you a small portion of what you need to get the results that you're looking for, such as getting over approach anxiety or learning how to text. While they may go deep on one subject, you miss out on all the other essential aspects of learning game. And lastly, they only cover theory. No one actually provides guys with the exercises they need to transform theory into skills through practice. This problem in our industry led us to create Game Transformation, the fastest sequential process for learning game ever. What if there was just one course that gave you 100% of what you need in chronological order with lifetime support from a helpful community and an experienced mentor? Throughout this program, you'll learn every essential aspect of dating, even if you're a complete beginner. In Game Transformation, you progress through 5 main stages. Phase 1, desensitization. We help you destroy approach anxiety so you can relax and approach anyone, anytime, anywhere. Phase 2, vibe. This is where we give you the tools to charismatically express yourself and make those conversations engaging. Phase 3, sexualization. This is where you flip a switch in women's brains so they view you as a sexual man and not a friend. Phase 4, strategy. This is where your results start to skyrocket.
There was even one night where we pulled, left, went back out, pulled again.
You're having fun sexual interactions where girls are gazing into your eyes, they're desperate to see what's next, and this is where we show you how to lead that interaction home. Phase 5 is naturalization. You game on autopilot and you date the women you truly adore. Not only that, you're gonna go over 20 bonuses, including the DM Destroyer, how to unleash the floodgates and get hundreds of girls in your DMs within hours, banned videos too spicy for YouTube, over 50 interviews with top coaches and elite players, a secret app to automate your messaging using my optimized lines, over 40 full-length infields, and so much more. But what do other coaches think about the program? What do you think about that framework?
My story follows a very, very similar, if not identical progression. So you've done an awesome job.
It's very similar to my personal journey.
Man, I'm definitely resonate with everything you're saying. I really feel that that's a process.
You'll also see students just like you get results with the Game Transformation framework.
When I talked to a woman in person, I felt like my mind went completely blank. I didn't know what to say. I purchased multiple programs from pretty well-known individuals in the dating niche. I honestly believe this is the ultimate course. I'm starting to feel really confident when talking to women in person. I'm going on multiple dates and more quality dates as well.
All the answers are right here. Like, they're right here in this course. It's like so comprehensive.
If you're undecided, man, I would say take the fucking leap of faith. You're gonna have a lot of fun.
So if this sounds like the program you've been looking for, then click the link below and join now. Here's to your transformation. Cool. So that is a course that I've been working on for almost 4 years now, but it's basically all the information I've learned in like 10 years of teaching this. We condensed it down to this with a team of a bunch of people, including Carl over here. This one. It's hard to point in reverse. Yeah, so someone said that there's an issue getting into the site right now, so I got Carl's looking into it right now. I don't know why. It's weird because I can access my website and I can access the course from the back end, but I don't know. There might be a lot of people going there right now. So just give it some time. We'll figure out something with it. Anyway, so weird. Of course it happens while I'm live streaming. God gives his most important, most difficult challenges to its strongest soldiers. But yeah, today I want to talk about so some of the things that I learned in my journey, and then I also want to talk later about like how I was able to date models after going through this process. So you guys probably learned from my own story, my long like journey in game, that I started from a very low point. And I use game in a self-development sense. And also, obviously, game is great to like meet girls and have a great time. But where I started from, I felt like very out of touch with people. I felt unable to connect to people. I remember being unable to make eye contact with the lunch lady at my university. Um, you know, I'm going to go through some of the other shit right here. So, yeah, I'm writing out my whole story basically because I'm going to make the best possible video. It may be the best video ever on my channel. I've been going through like there's a folder that I have that has 25,000 files in it of infield and texts and clips and photos of my whole transformation, my whole journey from like when I was, you know, I even have I have childhood videos. I have so you see like you can literally see my entire life and see the whole like course that I went through. Um, and yeah, I guess my whole life kind of changed in 2006. I was, living, I had a pretty good life. I was with my mom, my stepdad. We were living in a nice house. I had perfect grades. I had some good friends. I played in a rock band. I had a good life. And then within like 6 months, my stepdad abandoned me. My mom passed away. My stepdad was like cheating on her with his secretary, which was kind of weird for me to go through. And then I moved away. I moved down, 200 miles away, left all my friends, and yeah, just felt very isolated. So this was like and I also almost died. So if you guys see a scar here, I got pushed through a window, got 56 staples, 150 stitches, almost died. I was like blacking out in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. And it made me like really insecure about how it looked. And then I just had like a lot of mental issues. It was like just so much to deal with at the same time that for 1 year, I was just kind of in shock and nothing hit me. And then 1 year later, like a fucking tsunami, this just wave of depression hit me. And it lasted for most of my teenage years. So I didn't really form the best friendships. Like I was just kind of like a negative energy vampire type person. And yeah, just addicted to porn, addicted to video games, addicted to honestly, the best thing I was addicted to was playing music. I found that as a way to cope. And then I also broke my nose and like I just had a very like, I don't know, rocky adolescence. And this all kind of shook me up and I didn't have like the ability to meet the girls that I wanted to. And then I slowly started to crawl my way out of that when I moved to different family members' houses and got into different environments and had better influences and got more responsibility. And my family like really helped me shape up. And yeah, even when I was able to make friends, every girl that I made friends with just treated me like a friend. Like I remember several girls would just talk to me and like share the stories about the guys that they were dating with me. Like I was like another chick that they were just like hanging out with. The girl that I went to prom with, which you guys will see in the final video, she said, the reason I chose to go with you is because I knew that you wouldn't make a move on me. I knew you wouldn't try to have sex with me. So it was like kind of this slap in the face. Like no girls just view me as this like nice guy, loser / like just friend zoned forever. Like not even an option to them. So it's kind of annoying. And then in university, I guess the pain was most intense because I was like at a time where everyone that I knew pretty much lost their virginity. And then I would hear people going out at night in university with their friends or just going out to meet girls. And I would just be in my dorm room, like listening to their parties happening nearby. And even my roommate would be like, hey, bro, I'm bringing a girl back. And like, I'd have to go like wait outside. And I'm like, how is everyone hooking up except for me? It was kind of annoying. So there's this famous Tony Robbins quote I love, and it's when the pain of making the change is less than the pain that you're currently experiencing, that's when you'll change. So it was really that time where I was like, you know what? I got to fucking step this shit up. So I got really into this, into searching about game online. And when I did discover game, it was like discovering the keys of the universe. It was almost like God like looked down upon me and like gave me a secret that no one ever talked about. I didn't have a family member tell me about game. I didn't have, an older brother. I didn't have, someone from my church say like, "Hey, here's how you talk to girls." I didn't have it wasn't promoted in the media. It wasn't taught in school. It wasn't like so. This is something that, and no one even talked about or told me or said was a potential option. Everyone just says the same trite, dumb shit over and over again. Oh, you'll find someone, the right person will come along. And especially like older women give like the worst advice ever. They'll be like, you'll just find your person. And it's like, well, their mating strategy was I'm a woman and I exist and men come up to me and I can choose. So it's not really the best person to give you advice. So I found a couple of people online I really liked. One was Vadim from Honest Signals. I thought he had the best game in the world. And then another guy was Paul Janka, and I just thought he had the smartest. He was just a really smart guy, and I liked listening to him. And I bought a couple of his courses, and in one of his courses, he said this line that literally changed everything for me. This line caused me to go from never having talked to a girl in like a sexual tone in my life to basically starting my entire journey. And so I actually found the line that he used in the course. So let me see. Made it this. Yeah. So he says, if you've made it this far into the course and you still haven't done your first approach, then stop whatever you're doing and do it now. If you're driving, pull your car over. If you're in the house, leave the house, go do your first approach, because nothing else matters if you're not putting this into practice. And there's this other quote I really love, which is, nothing's real until it's experienced. And so these thoughts are like percolating in my mind, along with that Helen Keller quote, like, life is either a daring adventure or nothing. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. And then I went out, I did my first approach. It didn't matter that it was raining. It didn't matter that it was like at my university and someone may see me and blah, blah, blah. I just did it anyway. So I went out and did my first approach, and it was this cute girl in the rain. She had like an umbrella. And I was like, at the time, Barack Obama was president, and he had this slogan, yes, yes, we can. So I said, hey, I asked Barack Obama if we could get together later. And he said, yes, yes, we can. And then the girl smiled, and then I just ran away. Like my heart was beating. It felt like I did a line of cocaine. It felt like I was like alive. It's like one of the most intense feelings of being alive I've ever had in my life. Now, I will say it is kind of annoying that a better course didn't exist back then, because for 3 months, I wanted to approach, but I had no way of just doing the basic steps that lead up to the approach. Because if you're a complete idiot in teaching game, you don't have much experience teaching game. What you're going to say is just go approach. And the problem is, the biggest obstacle for guys is the anxiety to approach. That's the number one obstacle that every guy faces at the start of their journey in the desensitization phase, is the obstacle to doing their first approach. So what I've done with my course, you guys have seen this, I put it on YouTube, is the exact steps that you need to take that go up to that first approach. So unfortunately, the people that I learned from they learned game their own way, and they're trying to teach it their own way. But, that didn't exist until I created it. So this is one of my contributions to the world, is my system for getting over your first approach. I call it the beginner desensitization plan. I put it out for free on YouTube if you guys want to see it. Carl, any updates?
I wrote to you on Telegram.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see if I can fix this. No, I paid an annual fee, so should be running. Okay, so we'll keep going. It's fun trying to live stream while tell a story while fix back end issues. Cool. So I started doing some approaches, and then basically I went full bore into this. I was like, this is so fun. This is so exciting. And I did one thing that I did naturally that almost no one else does naturally is that I was enthusiastic about every single win. So because I had been making small incremental progress crawling out of depression, I felt the same thing going up toward getting better at game. So every time that I would, I'm gonna not respond to the comments for now, but when I end this kind of rant, I'll go through all the comments at once. It's kind of distracting. I can't do 17 things at the same time. So I went through, so you guys can keep commenting. I'll just go through afterward and pick out the best comments. So I've been incrementally crawling out of depression, and then I started crawling my way into game by listening to the stuff. And then I did my first approach, and then I was like, okay, so this is cool. I can approach this girl. And then I approached a couple other ones. I remember their faces were like, because I probably did the same shit every guy does, which is approach too close, approach from behind, approach while touching the girl. Those are the 3 biggest beginner mistakes in day game, and I did all of them. I started to put in more reps. I started to go out at night, even though for me, I have what's called highly sensitive person. So like being in a nightclub was like a traumatizing experience. It was just so loud, and the lights, I'm just like, it just felt like something you would put someone in to torture them. And then I quickly realized, like, the point of night game is to have sex. That's why they put these environments together. So you just have to kind of endure it. And then I kind of desensitized just to being in that environment, which if you're new, it's a big thing that you'll go through, is just desensitizing to the idea of approaching, being desensitized to a loud bar or whatever. So I started going out, and another problem I had was that I'd go into an interaction, and like 5 minutes into talking to people in a social way, I would like run out of neurotransmitters for being happy and being social. So I would just get like really fatigued and tired and like need to go take a nap. So I like quickly leave after doing like one approach and go home and like literally like lay down to like rejuvenate my brain. And this is a beginner thing too that I find with a lot of my students. They'll be like, dude, I get like fatigued after doing like, talking to a girl for 30 minutes. I'm like, yes, same thing happened to me, except worse. And just over time, you'll basically gradually increase the amount that you can do. That's pretty much it. So I was able to slowly build up to that. And then I started finding other things about self-development. I joined a self-development group on campus, and which led me to one of my best experiences ever, which is I slept with a girl within 24 hours of meeting her, which was an awesome experience. But let me back up. So I was like, first thing, I was like making out with some fat chick in my bed, and I was like, this fat chick can like me, so that means that another girl could like me. And it was just an epiphany that a girl could like me, because I just didn't think that was the case. I didn't think that any girl could view me sexually. And when that happened, it was just a mind-blowing epiphany for me. Then I started like kissing a couple cuter girls. And then over the summer, I lost my virginity, which was mind-blowing. And then later on, I actually was talking to girls on like Omegle, and then I, got their numbers and stuff, and we talk and like video chat and stuff. And I banged a girl from Omegle. And then I had that experience with the self-development girl from my campus later that fall. And we went on this work trip. And by the way, I have photos for everything. It's so awesome, dude. I was going back through this stuff that I just had like vague memories of. And because I like am so autistic and I store everything and I like save everything, I had images for everything. So I have images from those first few experiences. I have images from my first girlfriend. I have images from like college. It's pretty great. So I got the receipts. Okay. I have the receipts. So yeah, slept with the girl within 24 hours. It's pretty mind blowing. Then I guess kept progressing. Any update on the stuff? He's working on it. That's nice. Let's see. It just keeps saying Firefox can't open this page. I don't know why. Why does it say inactive? Do you see this, Carl?
Yep. Just shake.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Okay, I'm just gonna take some comments now. But oh yeah, the point of the call was this: how to go from lonely doomer to dating models. So I'll talk about some of that shit. So basically, yeah, I went full bore into this. I did a Euro solo backpacking trip, which was scary for me to just like the idea of going to another country was kind of mind blowing to me. And I did it all by myself. And, you know, I didn't have like a tour group. It was like just me, like, I think I was 20 years old at the time. And I was like, you know, I'm going to Europe and I'm going to game every single day. And that's what I did. Gamed every single day, stayed at hostels, hooked up with girls in hostel kitchens and fucking in the beds with like the people above me complaining. And yeah. So I started doing that, came back, met up with my mentor, and then that's when things like really took off because I started to like absorb a lot of the traits and beliefs that he had that made him really successful with girls. And yeah. Yeah, what is it? Let me check if let's see. What the fuck, dude? It just keeps saying account inactive when I'm literally in my account. I've literally tested everything. So I'm just going to talk to support right now, I guess, too. Why not? You are? Okay. Okay, Carl's talking to support, guys. I don't know why this happens now, but yeah. Well, whatever. It's just 3 years of my life. It's just the past decade of everything that I've learned condensed into one thing. You know, that's okay if it goes down. Says it's probably undergoing maintenance. Maybe. Okay. Well, I guess there's fewer days to get the course. Yeah. So I'll just answer some questions now. If you guys want to. How do I meet pickup bros? So the best way to do it is through a community where you guys can like see each other's posts without like you posting on your Facebook or your Instagram and your mom gets mad at you. So I basically created a Telegram for my course. So basically it's a curated group of guys who you know will take it seriously. And cool thing about groups is they only are as good as their exclusivity. So if I told you, hey man, there's a group that, you know, everyone makes over 6 figures. They've all slept with 100 girls or more. They all are cool, fun guys that have interesting lives. They're not just like swipe cells who stay inside all day and, you know, swipe on Tinder, but they actually go out and like live cool lives. You know, they take cool photos. You know, they're really smart. Like if I told you that group existed, you'd probably want access to that because literally everyone wants access to that. But the thing is, it's not about you, what you want. It's about what can you contribute to the group. So the most exclusive groups are going to have the most exclusive criteria. So I've created 2 different tiers. So I have one that's just like for the people that buy my course to do standard. They get access to a group. I think right now there's 130 people in there or so. And then there's the elite chat. So that's for the premium members. And yeah, so cool. And in that, there's a wingman locator. So you can find guys to go out with in your city. Okay, let's see. So typically this won't happen if you're jacked, you're having a great interaction with your girl, and yeah, it just doesn't really happen. And also if you don't look like a bitch. Like some people, even like jack guys, like that is one of the reasons why some people become extremely jacked, is because like inside they're just like very like shy, or they were bullied, you know. So yeah, generally the more jacked you get, they won't care as much. They won't try to take your girl. And then if you're having a great interaction with your girl and you're like being touchy and stuff, they're just going to assume that that is like your girlfriend, or that's someone close to you. And it's going to be weird. It's going to be weirder for them and more threatening for them to open your girl. Very big mistake people make is like never touching the girl. So phase 3 of the course is sexualization. It's all about like how to touch and how to gradually escalate touch. Okay. God testing his best soldiers. Bro doesn't read chat. Bro, can you ooh woo? Says, I'm a dating coach, Austin, and I always refer my clients to watch your videos. Thank you. Let's see. Isn't it weird doing daytime games? Isn't it weird doing daytime games in a small town? So with the process of learning game, you first want to learn it in an anonymous setting before bringing it to a place where you have more reputational potential damage. So you want to learn it, you know, in a nightclub or a busy shopping street or a bigger city before using it in a small town. And that goes for anything. Like if you have a bad date from online in a small town, you know, it has massive consequences. Like people talk. So I'd recommend moving to a big city to go through your transformation. And then afterward, if you want to move back, then you actually can do crazier, not crazier, but you can do really cool shit in smaller cities. Because typically bigger cities are concentrated with like the coolest, most awesome guys that have so much stuff to offer girls and so many distractions and stuff. So if you go to a smaller town and you have, you know, that charisma that you've developed and that game that you've developed by doing the process, and then you use it in a small town, and you kind of can build some of the other things up, like doing social circle or hosting events or parties or this type of stuff, then you can absolutely slay it because you're a big fish in a small pond. Okay. Cool. Let's go back up, see if I missed anything in the chat. Am I a cuck for wanting a girlfriend? Oh, man. I feel like the average IQ that the internet has made us have is very low. No, so basically, I recommend all of my students to wait a year before getting a girlfriend, unless they are already like very far ahead in their journey. Because the problem is, if you get a girlfriend too early, you just kind of go soft and you revert back to that 1.0 version of yourself, to that like default point of yourself. So you don't make that identity level change. First, you want to go through the game transformation process, make that identity level change. And that way you don't have to worry about getting girls for the rest of your life, because you've already instilled a deep change in yourself. So you're not going to revert. And that means that you'll be able to have a relationship out of abundance and choice, not out of scarcity, which most people do. Most guys are absolutely like just in a desert, like trying to find a glass of water. That's how much in scarcity they are. So it really does cloud your judgment. You're like, oh, just the first girl, please. She touched my pee. That means I have to, like, realize that there's abundance. There's tons of women. At any one point in time, you could meet all of these girls. You can meet the girl in your building. You can meet the girl down the street. You can go to the bar and meet a girl. There's like, you can go online. There's like infinite opportunities. Too many for one lifetime to have. Okay. Yeah, like with all the women that are attractive on the planet, you probably, I'd have to do the math, but it may be like you could only divert like 1 minute per each girl on the planet or something. So there's definitely abundance. Okay, we got some random people are asking questions about the course. So you get access to the community through the course. So the course, you get access to the course, the community, and there's 3 monthly calls attached to the course as well. Will the course be available again, or is it just for this week only? So the price after this week, it'll be closed for a bit, and then I'll reopen it at a higher price. So if you want to pay more, you can wait. Most people just like to get in now and save the money. Okay. What does it say? It's a 4-step payment plan. No, there's no payment plan. Question, what comes good, bad with dating the models? Okay, so I'll talk about this because there's also a common misconception that models are somehow like this different creature. So I'll talk about a couple of the girls from my experience. So one of the girls I dated, she did print media modeling. So she modeled like clothing. She would model bridal stuff. She'd model for like different brands. And I will say that this particular girl, she was kind of a validation chasing girl, but she was very sweet. She wasn't like just think of like a tattooed, like rugged, like validation chaser. Like, oh, you know, my fucking dad beat me in the face she just had like, you know, she just had some validation chasing tendencies. So like when she first told me she was a model, I was like, oh, like an Instagram model. And she's like, no, like a real model. She started chasing my validation. There's one thing I've noticed with girls that are in an industry that they have to compete with other women based on their looks is they do chase your validation a little bit. And they are more sensitive to kind of disses about looks in general. They can be if they're validation chasers. One thing that is funny with models, though, is you just call them fat. I think someone else said this in the chat because it's like you can call them like obese, and they're like, it's clearly that they're not. So it's kind of funny. But what are some of the good? So I don't want to lump them all in the same group necessarily because they are individual women. They all have different experiences, but I will say they do tend toward validation chasing. Also, if you go toward modeling in the adult side as well, they often have, you know, issues with absentee fathers and this kind of thing. So yeah, there's that one girl. So I'm thinking of a girl in particular. I'm trying to think what else I can say about her. I dated her for like 6 months in Toronto, print media, met up with her. We had a great experience. We went like really deep. We connected on some really like deep stuff. It's like the first night we like cried together and laughed together and like had sex. And like, it was just like an emotional roller coaster, really. She was very sweet. And one thing that I noticed by meeting her and her friends, at least this was back in the day, was they didn't have access to the type of guys that you think they'd have access to. Like, there's this misconception that like every attractive girl is like getting flown out to Dubai, and that wasn't really the truth. So through her and her other model friends, I'd go like hang out with them, and guess who was hanging out with them? It was like some photographers who were scared to get a little touchy, and then there was like some gay dudes who were into fashion, and then there was like some fashion people and other models. So what I've heard from her and her friends was that they often like lesbianism and like just hooking up with girls was pretty common in the model industry because like first of all the girls are really hot, and then second of all, where was I going with this? They didn't really have access to as many guys as you think. One thing that was kind of weird with her, which I would make a boundary now, but it wasn't back then, is she got paid as an atmosphere model. So she got paid like just to exist in different nightclubs and like be at tables. So she'd like some Friday night, she'd literally go get paid $200 just to like be in a venue. And then she'd come home with me afterward. Okay. So that's her. Let me think about another girl. So the chick that was and I've also noticed they are much more responsive to just men that just lay down the law. They do want men who are strong, and despite the fact that they're so beautiful, because most guys around very beautiful women will tend to bend their boundaries a little bit, and by having strong, firm boundaries, you can be more attracted to them in a certain way, or just by being a more dominant man and just telling her how it is, and even like roasting a little bit. So the other girl I'm thinking about, I met when I was out with Kevin, my main wingman, and I'm trying to think what I should talk about with her. She was sweet, but also I needed to lay down the law with her. So this is just more, I guess it's kind of, there isn't really that many overarching themes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about for this. And then a girl that was a porn star. So I basically dated her in Miami and also LA. And when I dated her in Miami, she was not a porn star yet, but she was just very kinky, very open to try new things, literally addicted to watching porn herself. And she like had the dream of like becoming a porn star. So she said like, anything that you want me to do, I'll try with you. And I guess it was kind of cool. Anything else I should say about that? I don't know. I don't know if this is even interesting. Okay. Yeah, I know the site's down. We're talking to support right now. So let me see. Let's see if we can get it up by the end of the call. Hello. Can you get it up by the end of the call? Well, we're doing the best we can. Okay. Updates on your long-term plan of living in the EU. I don't know, man. US is pretty good. I guess a lot of the US kind of sucks, but you know, where I'm at is pretty cool. I think there are places in Europe I would definitely consider myself going long term. I guess my plan is maybe over the next 5 years, take a trip every couple months and go check out a new place that has potential. And then if I do find some place I really like, then I can go there and go deeper into it, potentially move. Yeah. Tips on how to make friends while in college. What do you consider to be a big city? Anything to do with group calls? Let's see, if I'm waiting until marriage, how to find a girl. Okay, so I'd say the best way to go about this is understanding the red flags that show you if girls are whores and learning how to spot them. If you're waiting until marriage, and you will not have the tools to know if a girl is a virgin or not, basically. So that's kind of a risk on your part. If it's important to you to know if girls are virgins, then you do have to get reps in. It's like how do I know what good form is in the gym if I never like get to experience it and like see it and internalize it? Like, I don't think you can. Carl, are you gonna take her out?
Sure.
She keeps whining. I'm not allowed. I can't live stream while taking her out. Or tell Luba. Or tell Luba. Because, dude, we gotta get the site up.
I know, bro.
Okay. Man, we'll get it up. I don't know what the issue is. Like, basically everything works except for the actual course access and the sales page. But like literally I'm in the back end of the course right now and I can see the lessons. So everything's there. It's just maybe some issue with, like, I'm even looking at the products. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So yeah, basically you need to learn how to spot red flags. So the cool thing that I've done for the course is that I've categorized red flags. So this is what you get when you get a smart person teaching. I don't just list off a bunch of random red flags and say, look out for these. What I do is I categorize them based on the qualities that you're looking for, because I'm not an idiot. So let me go to red flags. So we'll go into, yeah. So never date toxic girls again. How to get a loyal girlfriend. So there's a couple things in here that I'm going to leave for just the people in the course because they are so fucking awesome. So the first one is using scientific tests to understand her likelihood of loyalty and her likelihood of cheating. So there's a couple scientific tests that I have girls take. Every single girl that I date long-term, I have take this test. And over time, you'll start to understand how those tests correlate with certain traits and certain behaviors so that you can like have a nice seamless, I don't know what I'm trying to say, a nice full picture. So if the tests I give her show that she's a risk, has a higher propensity or she's more likely to be predisposed to cheating, then that's a kind of a detection. It's like, okay, this may happen. Let me look out for other clues. There's also internet detective tools that we teach you for how to find if a girl, where she shows up online. So kind of like a face detection thing. And then there's a mega list of red flags that we have in the course, and they're categorized by qualities. So one that you're looking for is whorishness and also honesty. So if you catch a girl lying about small things, she may also be lying about bigger things. How lying starts out is it's literally a behavior or a thing that you try out when you're a kid. And if you find out that strategy gets you what you want, you're going to use it throughout your life. So, let's go to honesty. Dude, having this camera in the middle of the screen is kind of annoying. Whatever. So yeah, lying, even small lies or show signs of dishonesty. If she breaks promises, anything that hints at untrustworthiness, or if she's unwilling to be vulnerable, she's unwilling to show her inner world with you, and she kind of like hides. Because there's two types of lying. There's lying by omission, and then there's just straight up lying. So lying by omission is when you leave out certain things. So that's for honesty. And then for whorishness, dude, there's such a long list. If she doesn't have boundaries, okay, I need to get water. you talking to support?
I emailed them.
Huh?
I emailed them and tried to call.
There's live chat.
There's just an AI that says, "Hello, I am an AI bot. I can help you."
Okay. There's a bunch of ones. Jesus, dude, I'm kind of bummed out that as soon as I go live that our whole site's down. Not the whole site, but just like the accessing parts. This is really annoying. Okay, can you talk to live chat? Or am I the only one that can talk to live chat? Hi, I get error 402 when on my course. Okay, I guess I'll be chatting to live chat. Live chat support while I do this. Are you able to talk to them like through this or not? Customer support team?
Use an AI.
No, you can talk to an agent if you go through it. Okay. At what age did you really start to transform your conversive personality? At age 20. Okay, we're talking to live chat. You know what? Maybe this should be a lesson in persistence because I'm trying to get this fucking stuff up. Maybe I'll just do this until I get off the call. I'll talk to you. 2 live chats. I got Kajabi support and then I have YouTube. It'd be nice to can you guys just come on the screen so we can chat? Talking to text is kind of stupid. So I'm just gonna drop the StreamYard link here. Dude, I've already answered this question. Get into group chats of people that are into game already. Okay. Carl, are you able to talk to live chat on Kajabi? You are? Okay. So you can fix this. Okay. Yeah, and if the only thing I ask you guys is turn your videos on if you want to come on screen. Cool. We have Wes. Hello, Wes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hold on. Let me see. It's making my audio. Of course, I can't change the audio. Okay. What's up, man? How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
I wonder if maybe if I change to my other headphones, it'll do something. Can you say hi?
Hey, can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Okay. What's up, man? What's your question?
My question is, this past weekend I was talking to a girl. I wasn't very into her, but like everything was going so well. She was all touchy. But with other girls, when I see other girls I potentially like, I just freeze up, or when I have hooked girls who I think are really attractive, I get so excited and I just ruin it. How did you like manage that transition going to the more attractive girls, I guess?
Dude, hold on. I'm gonna have to get wired headphones, I think. Hey, can you try it again?
Hey, yeah. Basically, how do you?
Dude, I don't understand. How is that even possible? How is it possible that there's no way to connect audio and it always just comes by Mac, but it's like coming out so quiet? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna have to just open the screen up, which is gonna suck, but then I have to put it over here. Okay. Maybe if you like just speak really, really loud.
Oh yeah. How do you?
Okay,
how
you're
do
good. You're good. You don't have to speak that loud. I
Oh,
got it.
When I've hooked girls who I think are really attractive,
Uh-huh.
and I can see they're excited, I end up ruining the interaction because I'm just like, whoa, oh, it's working, and my voice gets high, and I lose that chill energy. Is that to gain that experience? You just have to put in more reps. How was it for you going from?
Yeah, so there's a couple things. One is I call it the puppy dog stage, and it's like when you're new to game, you're like, "Wow, this is so cool! Girl said that she likes me. Wow, yay!" And you get like really excited and enthusiastic, which is okay in the beginning, but the problem is that it decreases all of the sexual tension. And women typically like guys that they come across as though this is normal for them, right? They don't want to make it feel like this concept of the other or that they're extremely excited, because extreme excitedness around women makes you come across as low value, and it suggests that you don't get a lot of girls. So one thing that I'll do is I call it there's a mentality. It's a no big deal mentality. So first of all, if a girl likes you, it's no big deal. That's part of it. If a girl doesn't like you, it's okay. That's part of it too, right? This is all part of life, is that some girls like you, some girls don't like you, and that's fine. So there's the mentality for that, which is the mindset. And then even past that, with just going into, the more reps you put in, you kind of desensitize to just the fact that girls like you, and it becomes less of a cool thing. You'll also get experiences where girls will, I have live chat talking to me too. You'll also have experiences where girls will give you what's called fool's gold, because they show that a lot of signs that they like you, but they're not really interested. So you don't assign too much weight to just a girl being, interested in you in conversation. So take a deep breath. It's okay if she likes you. Of course she does, right? Because you're the shit, because you're awesome, because girls love you, right? You should use that to reinforce your beliefs, and then make sure you maintain that sexual tension. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Cool. Let's add Daniel. What's up, Daniel? You're just muted. You got to hit the mute button on the bottom. Command D or Control D. You got a lot of hexagons in your room.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Yeah, so my question was like, do you have any tips on talking to girls in like college?
In college? Yeah, so I will be fair and say that like I dropped out of college after 1 year because I didn't want to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. But one thing I would say is there is more reputational damage in college. I don't know. Do you live in a city that is the whole city is the college, or do you live in a city where, where do you live?
New York, but like South New York, like South Brooklyn.
Okay. So first of all, well, what stage of the transformation are you in? Are you still desensitization phase? Are you still like
I like getting rejected. You know, like I approach like girls and I'm like kind of seeking getting rejected, but so I'm like in like probably like that desensitization phase to the next phase.
Yeah, so I would wait until you're a little bit further along in your journey. So I'd go out, and you're in Brooklyn, so there's literally, you have infinite girls to approach there, and also you can just take a train into the city and meet girls. Central Park, Union Square, Prince Street, Prince Street, Spring Street, like literally everywhere in Manhattan is a game spot. Same thing with Brooklyn as well. Yeah, so I'd get better at game with strangers before I start using it on my campus. And then when I would use it on my campus, I just kind of settle down with my intent. So I wouldn't be super extreme in my intent. I would be like, yo, bitch, what the fuck is up? You know, I'd calm it down just a little bit and subtly show intent, right? And also not be super persistent on campus either. That's another thing. It's like approach, if you can tell she's interested, then continue. But like any signs of disinterest, I would kind of err toward the side of just leaving in a friendly way and making sure it's not awkward, because you will see the person again, they can talk and all this kind of thing. So
yeah,
people are always like, I know nothing about game, let me game at the gym. That'd be like a more extreme example. It's like, nah, bro. Like,
that's even more closed in.
yeah, it's like you have a lot of options, okay? Especially you're in a city of like what 10, 12 million people. It's like there's no, and like 10% of the guys in Manhattan are gay, so it's like you don't really have, you have a lot of options. Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
What's up, Jax?
What's up? So my question is about 2 years ago, I started to get in the hang of game, and my inner game was good, and I had a lot of confidence with myself. And you were talking about it at the start of this live stream, how you're supposed to wait a year until you get a girlfriend because you can lose all of that progress. And I got a girlfriend. I didn't wait a year, and so once me and my girlfriend broke up, I found myself back in the spot that I was at, and felt like I just lost all my progress. And I keep on fixating on how I used to be and getting back to that spot. How do I get over that and become better?
Yeah, so with anything, you don't want to live in the past, right? You don't want to live in the past. You don't want to live in the future. You just want to live in the present. So one thing is let go of this idea of getting back to where you used to be. Everything in the universe has changed. You have 4 quadrillion different connections in your brain, so you're not the same person at all. In fact, I wouldn't even say I want to get to the level that I was at before. I'd say I want to get better than the level I was at before. So what do you need to do to get to that level? You have to focus on the leading indicators, not the lagging indicators. So leading indicators are the actions that you're taking right now. Are you going out? Are you spending 3 to 4 times a week face-to-face with girls? Are you, day game, night game, social circle, online game dates? It needs to be like in person with a girl. That's what's going to shape your brain the most, is like being in the flow of that. Because you ever hear the quote, like your work works on you more than you work on it. So if you're gaming, the fact that you're talking to a girl is working more on you than you're working on your game while you're doing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I noticed like a lot of my outer frame and the way that I talked stayed with me, and my charisma on the outside was still there, but my inner frame of like, I'm the prize, just good mindsets like that, I can't seem to get back. So I found myself talking the same, but the inside is the part that I'm trying to.
Yeah. So you need to basically internalize the mindsets and beliefs of your best self, essentially. So I will use this as a time. So basically, guys, for the course, no one can access any of Kajabi right now. So it's I have one of my business friends. He says all of his courses are down. So like courses are down on everything Kajabi right now. So literally nothing I can do. I don't know what their server got nuked or I don't know. But all I know is that there's a bunch of nerds furiously typing in a basement somewhere trying to get this thing working. So I trust them. I trust that the autism will fix this by tomorrow. Cool. I'm going to say thanks to my buddy. Yeah. So basically internalize the mindset that, however you are right now is good enough to approach and talk to girls, and then go out, work on the leading indicators. Are you taking action? Are you writing field reports? Are you getting feedback on it? Are you part of a community that's helping you grow? If you work on those 4 things, that's why basically what I have done with my course, GameTransformation.com, that is currently down thanks to Kajabi. Thank you, Kajabi. Is created a system for basically it'd be impossible to fail. It'd be impossible for you to not attain your goals if you get this. Because you have a community, you have wingmen that you can go out with, you have the exact steps that you need to take right now. And yeah, pretty much it. Cool. So we'll just freestyle for now. I'll just give value because no one can even buy the course now. So I can't even sell it. So fuck it. So what are you guys struggling with? How can I help you? Let's start with this. What are your goals? And by the way, other people in the lobby, put your videos on if you want to come on.
I think I'm still in the desensitization phase, even though I don't know. I've done 30-ish approaches since I decided I want to take this more seriously. I'll go on like a streak where I do a couple, and they might even go well, but then I just fall off of it.
Yeah, so this is the main crux of it all, is if you rely on willpower and not rely on social learning, you almost will always fail no matter what you do. There's a reason why Navy SEAL training is in person, right? There's a reason why, in my own journey, I quickly got wingmen and guys that I could collaborate with, guys that I could talk to, guys that I could go out with. I started building a support network of people that had the same mentality as I do. Because if you go outside, what do you notice? Most people don't read books. Most people don't go talk to girls. Most people don't do cool careers or have cool visions for their life. Most people don't travel very much. Most people aren't that interesting. Is that what the life that you want to have? Because when you go out there, you're getting washed over by 99% thinking every single day, just NPC mode thinking. Buy this, grain cereal that has this in it and it's fortified, and then what are the mentality people? Just be yourself and get girls instantly all the time. It's like the mentality of most people is bad. So you need to be around that 1%, that kind of like, I don't know, what is it? Like the Navy SEAL team for getting girls in your area, right? The guys that can support you, the guys that, like I always tell the story about my old wingman, Kevin. Even nights that I didn't want to go out, he would either come to my house, kick in the door and take me out, be like, "You're coming out, faggot. This is not a life for like staying inside." Right. And he'd call me, he'd be like, "You'll be fat, no one will want to hang out with you, like you'll be lame, come out, work on your game." So we'd go do that. Or 2, he and my other mentor would literally bring girls to the house. They'd be like, "Yo, wake up, we're pulling, get ready, go take a shower." And then I have to take a shower, get ready. Oh, I got a wing. And then I would literally get laid on nights where I'm just existing. Like I'm just at home because I had great wingmen around me, and vice versa. I was there for Kevin in his low moments. I was there for, some of my friends when they had breakups, and, you support each other as well and you help each other out. I've tossed girls to Kevin. Like I bang a girl. I'm like, I'm kind of done with her here. You go bang her. Right. It's like that old song, was like, it ain't no fun if the homies don't get none or something. So you help each other out, you support each other. Sometimes you'll help each other pull. Like you'll just be out and you'll be like, I'm not into this girl, but I'll wing her so Kevin can get his girl, and vice versa, right? So you need to have a support network, because if you're trying to do it alone, the odds of getting good at game on your own are basically zero if you have no support network. Every single guy I know that's good at game has wingmen, mentors. They invest in themselves. Like my buddy David Bond, he's invested, thousands into different self-development courses and dating courses. He's gone to the old free tours back in the day. He's gone to the hot seat. He's gone to he's traveled. He's paid to fly to cities to learn from people. Even to this day, when he's doing harem stuff, he networked with this guy Bagoy Koikoi in the Philippines, and he's asking him like, so how do you manage your harem? What are the criteria? How do you select girls for it? How do you screen girls? What stuff do you have girls do to prove that they're going to be loyal to you, that they're going to be great, partners for you? So like even to this day, he's paying guys just for information, just to get there faster, right? So, and then, wingmen. He was smart enough to make a YouTube channel where he shows cool stuff about his life so that other guys that are in a similar mindset can connect to that, right? So you got to be thinking, what is that strategy for me? How am I going to connect with those people? What groups can I form? How do I meet those people? And literally a lot of it's just the access. So I could rant about anything. So you guys can just bring up different topics. My lithium is kicking in.
I actually just got some stuff that you were talking about on live stream. That lithium ortate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got some of that stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. You seem pretty naturally chill. I don't think it might not do that much for you, but I have like natural depressive symptoms sometimes. So it like brings me up and like makes me more like happy. And then I actually had a student this weekend who I was like, you were one of the happiest people I ever met. Like my happiness set points maybe like a 5.5 or a 6 out of 10. Like that's where I'm normally at. And then I was like, what do you think yours is? And he goes, 1,000 out of 10. And I was like, all right. This guy, he was just so, I gave him lithium ortate and he like chilled out and he had his first makeout ever in his life, like this weekend. So it was kind of cool. And he pulled twice. So, yo, what's up, Isaiah?
Yes. Yeah, can you hear me?
What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, so my main question is two things. One about the course. Really sounds interesting to me. I'm just curious with the 3 monthly calls, so that's something like will be consistent every single month in the program.
So funny enough, I had it as lifetime, and I basically asked a bunch of people what they think about it, and they go, dude, that sounds too good to be true. People are going to think that this course is bullshit because you're giving too much value. So basically I have it set as 3 monthly calls, but I'll let you in on more calls if you join.
So. So there's more calls than that every single month?
Yeah, they literally I literally had a professional copywriter look over and he's like, dude, you're giving too much value. Like no one's going to believe this is real. So I'm like, okay, what should I put it? And he literally told me, he was like, I was like, what should I put? Like monthly calls when I feel like it? And he's like, honestly, that would be better. So, but yeah, now it's just like 3 monthly calls, but.
Okay. And a question on the calls, can we bring audio recordings of us doing approaches and have you review them?
Yeah, that's actually, it's more interesting for people to break that stuff down on the call anyway, rather than just me ranting. So yeah.
Oh, awesome. Sold. I'm going to buy it.
All right, GG.
And I guess one other question.
You could buy it right now, but it's unable to be bought apparently.
Well, yeah, I'll buy it as soon as it's available.
Like there are tens of thousands of courses down right now apparently. So.
Yeah, I heard that part earlier, which that's wild. But I guess one question I had in terms of approaches, I've noticed a consistent track record where I get numbers have what seem to me decent to good interactions, but not really getting a whole ton of replies. What would you say tends to be the main reason for that?
Yeah, so there's a couple main reasons, but typically what I found is I like this analogy from my buddy Nate. It's like, think about a heap of beans. So you just got like a heap of beans. At what point when you're adding 1 bean, 2 beans, 3, at what point does that become a heap? It's a gray area, right? So what I've done is all I do is just add another bean to my pile to make that heap. So everything I've done in life is just incremental progression, right? You know, the Japanese word kaizen, it's just like incremental improvement. How can I make this 1% better, 2% better? Like just yesterday for my the prompts, I made ChatGPT prompts for the course. I made a ChatGPT prompt generator for Instagram bios and dating app bios, which is another feature we added yesterday. The same thing applies to you in your game. It's like, how can you make your charisma a little bit better? How can you make your leadership a little bit more solid? So the actual meta concept for that would just be, I call it the wheel of learning. So you go out, what's the number one thing you did bad? Like, what's the number one mistake you made? And then the next day, the next thing you work on with the intention to work on it is that one thing that you're bad at. So let's say I forgot a girl's name. The next day, all I'm going to do is practice using girls' names when I meet. Let's say, you know, I want to get good at insta-dating. I don't really know how to insta-date. I'm going to try insta-dating every single girl for like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. So that way I get that skill set. Because a lot of game, it's like you ever see like those audio levels? It's like you have like 30 audio levels and they're all slightly decreasing over time. So that when you work on one, it pushes it up, and then you have to work on the next one. And then, does that make sense?
Yeah,
so you
definitely
like
makes
iteratively
sense.
get better at all of that, so that you're well-rounded. Because women
Would you
don't
say,
want a guy that's good at one thing; they want a guy that's good in general. So that's my main thing. Is the thing that makes girls want to see you again is that they're like, this guy is awesome. I have a good feeling about this guy in terms of like either it's just hooking up or it's for something longer term.
But would you say like there's a list of common things that you've noticed that lead to someone not responding?
Yeah. So one thing is that we call it the number bandit. A guy will get a number and then he'll immediately leave. So what happens is
I haven't been doing that in my approaches.
No. Yeah. So another one is not making concrete plans or not having an idea of that you're getting a number or contact to meet up with her. The third thing, I think this may be it for you. I don't know. That's why infield, it's good that you're getting that. And you should post it if you have other groups or whatever, or friends that can review it, or wingmen, because they'll point out a shit ton of things in those interactions that you may not even notice. So that's something I do on every, all my mentorship students. I say, if it's legal for you, go record audio clips. I know some countries like Turkey, it's not. So I tell them not to. But if you can get infield and then review it. It's the same thing. Like anything you want to get good in life, you're going to get footage or audio or some way to review yourself. And pay attention to how the vibe is. Pay attention to, are you building, enough rapport with the girl? Maybe for you, it could be lack of comfort. It could be a ton of different things. So.
That's actually giving me some more clarity, because I've noticed usually what I'll do is I'll say, hey, you seem cool. We should stay in touch, grab an ice cream or coffee sometime, get the number, a little bit more small talk after, and then leave.
Yeah. And if you're doing that with every interaction, it's okay to do that for practice. But for me, what I do now is if I'm not interested in the girl, or if I can tell that she's not that interested in me, or if I just don't feel like a good vibe and I'm not like excited about it, I just don't even ask for the number now. So that's just me personally. But for getting the reps, I think it's important to get the reps and just kind of maximize out everything you can.
But when you say like setting concrete plans, like, do you mean you should say, oh yeah, there's a specific ice cream shop I know of, or oh, this specific coffee shop I've been wanting to try?
Yeah, so I actually will do that for longer interactions. So one of the things is like I have a date tomorrow with this really cute girl, and one thing I said during the interaction was, I just went through my date funnel, because it's fucking annoying to text. A lot of my game is like, how do I text the least? Like I just hate texting. So I will basically what I'll tell girls is like, this is one of my date funnels. Hey, what's your favorite type of food? And she's like, most girls either say Italian or sushi. And then she says like Italian. I'm like, oh, have you been to Fabrizio's Italian Kitchen? And she'll say, oh, no, I've never been there. And I say, well, you're in luck. I think there's a guy who may be interested in taking you, blah, blah, blah. And then that way she knows I'm getting the number to meet up. Yeah. And
so you say that during the approach, not over text?
It's just a matter of following up. And virtually every girl that you can meet up with will drop off at a certain point. So that's why I have re-engagement messages. And I don't even waste time coming up with my own re-engagement messages anymore because I've already done them. So I just have a keyboard in my phone that I've optimized with my own lines that you guys can actually download as part of the course. And I just go to the re-engagement messages part that looks like a Uno reverse card, tap the button, first re-engagement, and then I type, I hit one of the re-engagement messages that I have there. Boom. And that's actually the date I have for tomorrow. I had to use one, which is, I think you forgot to press send. So I sent her a voice message. She didn't respond for like 16 hours. And I was like, thought you forgot to press send. And she's like, haha, you're right. I did forget to press send. LOL. And then it's like, yeah, that sounds great. Blah, blah, blah. So just having shit like that, like available in your text game, because that could be an issue too. And some guys, I had this on this program this weekend. He goes, I texted her. She didn't text back. And I hate when people talk about texting because they never accurately describe it. What he texted her was his name only. Let's say his name was Austin. He just typed Austin. He's like, she didn't text back. It's like the literal first thing in like the first message video I sent is like, send this if she texts back after that or thumbs up your message or whatever. That's great. That's a good sign. If she doesn't, just go to callback humor. And there's like examples for it, but.
And I guess one other question I had on a side note is any advice for doing game within a social setting, such as, so I'm religious, I'm a Christian, and I'll meet girls in a group setting at church. And we also too, I'm not sure if you go to church or not, but like we'll have like smaller groups as well too that we meet in homes throughout the week. Like, do you recommend immediately going for a number in a setting like that, or, talk to the girl for a little bit and then maybe the second time you see her, just get the number? Because obviously I don't want to come off as like being the known player that's always getting everyone's number.
Yeah. So my number one piece of feedback for, I call this higher pressure game situations, is get good at game in general, get good at with women in general. And then when you are in those more high pressure situations, you will instinctually know what to do. And I will say from my own experience, yeah, it's typically better to get to know the person a little bit over a course of 2 or 3 times, and then grab Instagram number, start messaging on there. And then when you're with her in person again, be like, yo, we should, there's a cool thing that we should check out. Just suggest it. And then if she's like, yeah, that'd be great, then you have a date. The only thing is, a lot of these times, a lot of these situations, it's either you marry the girl or it ends up being awkward.
Well, I mean, that's my intent. Like, I'm not looking to just sleep around and other things like that. Like, I'm looking to get married one of these days.
Okay, wait, are you the guy that said you want to maintain your virginity until marriage?
I'm not the guy that said that, but I agree with that guy 100%.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I have no problem with that, dude. I think that's awesome. I just give
I appreciate you respecting that. Most people I share that with just laugh at it.
No, I give you the framework, and you can either sleep with 10,000 girls with it, or you could sleep with one. So the same shit works no matter what, right? Women respond to leadership. They respond to fun, generating a good vibe within yourself. They respond to, more dominance. Same shit applies in all these different situations.
So, and I guess specifically, there's actually a girl tomorrow because I'm going to a smaller, intimate home group that's a part of my bigger church.
Smaller and intimate and at home, dude. Sign me up, bro.
Yeah, but it's basically just an at-home Bible study group. But me and her,
it's my in-bed Bible study group, dude. I would just start my own small group. Yeah, sorry, we have to study in my bed, girls only. Sorry, guys. Yeah, just get on your knees. We'll start praying now.
But I guess anyways, like I had what I felt were two good interactions with her. Like first interaction, found out she's real entrepreneurial minded like I am. Then like second interaction, I saw her that Sunday at church, and she was like, "Oh hey, my week's been super awesome, especially since I met you." Then I got her number and then just walked away real quickly. Any like pointers for when I re-see her again tomorrow?
Just start up the conversation where you left it off. That's pretty much it.
And should I like suggest, oh, hey, we should go do this sometime while we're in conversation?
So toward the end, good marketing is like good game. So at the end of, what is good marketing? It's 90% value. And then the last 10%, hey, by the way, I got this thing, It's like, hey, I'm here giving you guys free value. By the way, if you guys want to go deeper and get all these crazy, awesome shit that you can use to change your life, I have this course, right? It's the same thing with game. It's like, hey, here's a sample of my personality. Let's banter. This is how you feel around me. Let's do something that you would probably like as well, right? And that's why you're less likely to make an error if you also include the girl in the date creation process. That's why sometimes I'll be like, yo, what kind of stuff are you into? Like this girl I'm meeting up with tomorrow, she's like, oh, I like exploring, adventuring, outdoor stuff. So our first date is like about as outdoorsy as you can get without it being like a national park. Come meet me by this tree in this park. I'm not going to do that, but it's a cooler place. But does that make sense?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Have a good vibe with her, and then toward the end, you suggest something that you can do together that she would probably like from what you found out about her in the conversation.
Okay, so basically just make suggestions in that conversation.
Yeah, let's say, and really easy one is food. Everyone eats. Yeah. I have a list of date ideas as well. There's also, if you want to allow my autism to go, I created chat GPT prompts so you can, every date idea in your area, it'll come up and it will show you like the name of the place, the hours, the address, etc. So like one example, I think it was like name a bowling place near me, and it'll put the bowling, and you just put your own address in there, and it'll show you all the closest ones for all the different date ideas. Anyway,
man, that's smart. But yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I'll let you get to the next guy.
Yeah. Cool. The good old Bible study excuse. Isaiah, we're on to you. He's still here on the stage. Okay. I'll remove you from the stage. Cool. Oh, I guess I'll drop this chat in the chat. I like how you guys are just on stream, but you're just hanging out.
Chilling.
Dude, I did a whole video called Devil and Angel Pick Up Girls, and I was the angel. Dude, pretty soon I'll be able to do some fun YouTube videos again, which is nice. I'm going to be doing I'm writing up lines today for capitalist versus communist picks up girls. It's gonna be fun. Let me see. I'll just pull it up. Capitalist. Yeah, here we go. I haven't like crafted these yet. They're very rough. Excuse me, do you know where the nearest free market is? Just kidding. I just wanted a free opportunity to speak to you.
I like the Gary V lines that you had. They were pretty funny.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah. I got to take part of that video, and I have to go out and do other lines for it, and then make the Gary V Picks Up Girls. Dude, I think it would be a banger. That's one of my favorite infields I've gotten, just like because I was just improvising and having fun on Halloween.
Yeah, it took a while for her to get it, but once she did, she was.
Yeah. It's funny because she actually knew who Gary V was, whereas most girls, I think, would not. Do you have autism? So I have highly sensitive person, and I also have ADHD, which I believe are like part of the neurodivergent thing, but I don't say it like I'm a victim. I just say it when I get like very into things. So one of the type of ADHD I have is like one of the symptoms is hyper focusing. So I can go super deep into something for a very long time. Here's an example. This is just like a smaller example. So I made the best sex playlist of all time. Most of you guys know it's called Relax. But what you guys may not know is that I created the worst sex playlist of all time. So should I just pull this up? This would be funny on the stream. It may be music and get the stream have an issue with it, but what I don't care. I don't monetize anything. Okay, let's go present, share screen, select window, Spotify. Okay. So here's my worst sex playlist of all time. So a really good tip for when you're making your own sex playlist is to not call it anything bad or like. So that's why my good sex playlist is called Relax, which is this one. It's just relax, right? I don't know if you can hear the audio. Can you hear the audio?
I can't hear it.
No? Okay. Well, let me see. Settings. Whatever. I don't know. I'll make a video on this eventually. It's just too funny not to. But literally the first song is Allahu Akbar. Then we got the national anthem of Russia, or like the USSR. We have the Seinfeld theme song. Let me see. I'll stop sharing and let's see. Present, share screen. I don't know if I can. Yeah, the only way to share audio, I think, is if you have the clip downloaded or something. So whatever. Cool. This may be true, dude. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. I'm 30, look 25. Should I apply different mentality when talking to young girls versus older girls? Dude, you're literally talking. That literally applies to me. Most girls assume that I'm like 23, 24, but yeah, I'm 30. So, yeah. So when girls are older, if they're like 26 and they still think I'm like 25 or 24 or something, I'll just go, no, I'm 30. But with younger girls, I just have them like assume that I'm younger, I guess. That's what I do. So,
I actually have a question.
Yes.
So I live in like a highly religious state. I live in Utah, and so I try to screen out the girls that are crazy Mormon.
But dude, they're so hot.
It's true. They got that nice middle piece of innocence.
Yo, Carl, can you take over while I pee?
Huh?
Take over. I gotta pee. Carl will be here. I have to pee real quick.
Okay.
Hello, I am Carl.
What are we talking about?
So I live in a highly religious state, and I'm just looking, how do I screen out the girls that are looking for sex after marriage? And like
After marriage? Do you mean before?
Yeah, I'm looking for for those types of girls. And I want to screen out the girls that aren't. How do I go about that?
You could ask.
Just ask them straight.
Are you religious? How religious are you? Something like this. That's what I would do. But yeah, I feel like you'd just notice in a general vibe how conservative a girl is.
Because I don't want to I don't want to just like open them and then like just go straight into religion.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess you could tell like a lot of religious girls will have like the cross necklace, and I mean I wouldn't ask it right away either. But if this is a really common problem where it's like every interaction you have, it turns out the girl is super religious, I guess just a few minutes in, you could ask them if you don't want to waste your time with that.
Yeah.
Good luck. I love these comments. you come back to YouTube. Like, dude, I never left YouTube. I think people just didn't see me posting long form YouTube videos, but whatever. Cool. What was your question? It was like there's a lot of religious girls and you don't want to deal with them. You want to fuck.
Yeah, basically. But like, how do I screen them out? and get to the girls that like, because I don't want to like open them and just like, hey, are you religious? Because it's just like a little too much.
Yeah, so you can just tell based around how receptive the girls are to physical touch, how receptive they are to following you around, how open they are to talking about more risque subjects like drugs and sex and rock and roll and adventure. And also another really good way to you can remember this acronym. It's called NOISA, NOISA. So you want to find girls that are non-judgmental about sex, that are open-minded, independent, spontaneous, and adventurous. If they have all 5 of those criteria, that's like girls that are just most likely to hook up from my experience. Yeah. And if you find the girls that like it and you like it too, then it's a win-win. Yeah. Trying to convert very religious girls. Actually, I think the first girl I ever slept with was Mormon. It's funny. But yeah, trying to convert. It's better to find girls that are just open to doing those things than trying to like convince girls, right?
Have you ever gamed in Utah?
Yes, but only in like the national parks.
Really?
Yeah, if you look up there's a video called The 5 Ways to Make a Girl Fall in Love with You.
Oh, I think I've seen that. Is that the one where you're doing like yoga with 2 girls?
Yeah. So that's me gaming in Utah. Like I was gaming on like a old sandstone arch or something. So okay, well, we're gonna try to fix the website, guys. I'm gonna kick you guys off. RIP. Removed from stage. Thanks for hanging out.
Wait, yo, one last question. How would you like make some like high value friends? How would you go about doing that? Maybe in like New York. I know there's like clubs and stuff, but it's like really hectic in there, and there's like a lot of areas limited.
So the actual how-to is less exciting than that. It's literally just become a high value guy yourself. Become the kind of person that person would want to be friends with. Right? So different people want different things. So, for example, in my network, I have, a guy that does $250 million in sales in his business. I have the #1 male porn star in the world. I have just really cool guys in different cities around the world that, throw parties, and I have access to one of my group chats is called the Alpha Circle. And like I have access to really cool people through that. So I have access to all these people because different people want different things. So if I spent a decade of my life, hyper focusing on how to get good with girls, then someone else who spent a decade of their life focusing on sales, he and I could collaborate, share information. And we're part of like, you can just tell like when a guy has kind of made it, right? There's certain signs. Success leaves clues, as they say. So that's one thing. Cultivate yourself into the guy that other people want to be around. It's also a mindset. Are you the most successful high status guys I know? They're focused on growth, contribution, fun experiences. So are you focused on growth? Are you focused on contribution? Are you focused on good experiences? Are you focused on leveling up, getting better every single day? Because that mentality is infectious, and people, even very high level people, if they're around a guy that, has those qualities and is super fun and positive, they love that. Right. So people talk about like, here's the networking secret, but really it's like, be a cool person that makes sense for other people to either do business with or to associate with. And then everything else, all the little nitty gritty things fall into place. Right?
But still, I feel like there has to be like a hack. Cause like at the highest levels, like people at the highest levels, they also have people like really low down as friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and those people are either with them for a very long time and they're loyal friends and they give good value, or they're the person that they can hang out with. Like I have one of my close friends here is he's just really good at ultimate frisbee, and he's really cool and he's really normal, and so yeah, I hang out with him. He's nowhere near my level of like business or game or any of that, right? He's just, and I associate with him for that reason. He's like a cool, normal dude that plays Ultimate, right? So you have different friends for different reasons, like just like you like hanging out with them. So yeah, it depends what. And the thing is, why do you want those high status people?
Like, I mean, like they give you access to like things you can't have. Like, let's say you make a friend with like a yacht, you know, you get access to the yacht.
So why do you want access to the yacht?
I mean, like, so then you can bring girls to the yacht.
Okay. Do you think it's easy to bring girls to a yacht?
I mean, I think so. Yeah, maybe.
So this is one thing that people don't understand. It's actually way harder to bring girls to a yacht than it is to bring girls to like a coffee date, which sounds counterintuitive, but the thing is, it's like a bigger thing in a girl's mind. It's like, oh, yacht, like I don't know if I'm ready for that. And then also creates safety concerns. Is that where's the yacht going out? Am I going to be with friends? Who's a part of it? Is there a group? What's the group's dynamic like? Dude, it's intense. The people I know that are good at bringing a lot of girls on yachts are people that have groups of girls, like promoters, that they already, all the girls already know each other, and then they bring them on the boats and stuff. Like, it's not as easy or as good as you think it would be. And also, if you're just hanging out with girls on a yacht, it's kind of just like a private party. Like, there's no reason why you couldn't orchestrate a private party somewhere in New York. So, yeah. Honestly, dude, I have a boat club I belong to, and I can take a boat out anytime I want. And I do it like once every 2 months because it's just not that cool. It's like you're on a boat, you're just there. I don't know. And then there's like waves, and I don't know. It's not that interesting. And also for first dates, I can't even do it for a first date because girls are like scared. There's like, remember, as a girl, your biggest thing is you think that men are going to fucking kill you. So like you have to make girls feel comfortable. And the way you do that is by getting to know them over time. So they observe your behavioral cues and they can trust you in more like situations like that. So boat's a good thing to have for like a second date or a third date, but not for a first date. So it's like, then you're like meeting tons of girls to invite them onto a yacht. And then you have to like, how often do you have access to the yacht? And then you have to rely on the other guy. And then you have to like, it's not good. You want to basically get a system that you can use to have sex with a lot of girls. And then from there, you can do whatever you actually want. Because if you're like, I want high status guys to get boat to get girl, you can just cut out the middlemen and just get the girl. Like, it's not that complicated. In fact, it's a lot easier.
You mean like take her out to a coffee shop, then park, then your house, go through the circle?
Yeah, or dinner or drinks or yeah, there's bowling. Like, yeah, yeah. I'm a reverse salesman. I made boats sound stupid, which I don't know. They are the boat's kind of overrated. Would you say?
I just get seasick, bro.
He just gets seasick.
But I mean, you can't deny like having high value friends has its benefits. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but the most important thing is that
like,
you have. And what do you define as high value? That's another thing, because
like
status depends upon what your values are. In some groups, becoming super jacked is high status. In other groups, they're like, that's fucking lame. Why would you waste time doing that? Like, it's like try hard. In some groups, having a Lamborghini is seen as high status. In other groups, that's like the gayest shit ever. It's like, why wouldn't you use that money to help people? Why wouldn't you use that money on your business? Why wouldn't you use that money to like live a more adventurous, fun life where you can travel? So
yeah.
I know I didn't answer your question, but I gave you a different perspective.
I just feel like money kind of gives you access to more parts of life. You know what I mean? Like,
what if you got better social skills and then you could get access to those things naturally? And also that is like one gripe I have with like the whole social circle stuff. It's like they set up this reality as though everyone cares about the same things, whereas like they're describing reality where like 5 to 6% of people think is cool, which is like, I get access to this bikini competition with these 37-year-old single mothers to compete for bikinis. It's like, who cares? I don't know. It's not exciting to me. Like, how old are you? You're probably pretty young, right? Like 21?
24.
24. Okay. So yeah, if you haven't had many of these experiences, you're probably looking at it like, oh, it's past this like huge gate that I have to get access to. It's like you can just get access to those girls. So I don't know. And also by learning game, what you do is you generate a skill set that a lot of those guys with the boats wish they had. Because last time I went on a yacht, I brought girls onto this yacht, and the dude that owned the yacht was fucking lame, dude. He just sat there kind of like in a weird vibe, just kind of like weirded out the girls, bro. And I was like, hey, we're playing this fun game that I made, like this Jenga game with the stuff written on it. We're doing like what's it called? It was like Truth or Dare Jenga, and everyone was laughing, having a good time. Like girls are doing squats for like some of the things, and like, you know, I'm like bending a girl over for like demonstrating my favorite sex position, like just random crazy stuff, having fun, laughing. And I'm like, come play the game with us. Oh no, I'm fine. Like those people wish they were you. So why would I want to be that? I don't know.
But then they also have the things you wish you had.
Why don't you just develop the skill set to generate that yourself?
Right, but then there's like levels to that. Like you can't guarantee to have $1 billion.
Why do you need $1 billion, dude?
Because like there's a lot of cool things that come with like a lot of excess money you could spend.
Yeah, well, first of all, you're not going to become a billionaire because it's not likely. And also, once you have you ever had a year where you made like $100,000?
No.
Yeah, so once you reach that point, you'll realize that like, oh, it's like more money doesn't automatically mean more happy. Like it does incrementally actually to a certain point. So like there's a book
like I could hire Taylor Swift if I have like a bunch of money, and like Taylor Swift or like
how much more marginal happiness does watching Taylor Swift in a private concert give you over watching
a
Taylor
lot,
Swift?
Bro. What do you mean?
So you need to read this book called Happy Money, and this is based on the science of how money impacts happiness. There are diminishing returns. Yeah, someone said this. Social skills is better than a yacht. Yeah. You don't want to be the lame old dude in a Ferrari. Like it's the literal word, because what it is a total miscalculation of what women are attracted to and what makes a good life. Like a good life money is part of a good life, but it's not the be all end all of a good life. In fact, let's break it down like this. Attraction for women. How much money do you need to have so that women get aroused around you and want to fuck you? Like what's the
probably threshold? Not a lot.
You need zero money. I got laid more when I was broke than I do now, because the number one determinant of how much sex you're having is, are you proactively trying to have sex with people? And your social skills, right? So there's if you want to look up a video on this, it's I actually talked to this guy. His name's Joseph Slaney. He was a homeless guy in New York City that would sleep with girls and like shower at their places. And he'd crash for a couple days and then boom, back on the streets homeless. And so he had $0. Meanwhile, you take the richest people in the world and they have wives or girlfriends that are cheating on them or hooking up with guys like me behind that guy's back. So one of the girls in LA that I was sleeping with, her family, her father I would ask like, so what's your dad do? And she's like, oh, he runs several high profile companies. And they're like, yeah, I just got back from Africa. I'm like, why? She's like, my family is opening up orphanages there to help like the youth. Like this is the level of wealth that her family was at. I don't know if her dad was a billionaire near it or whatever, but she was hooking up with me and I didn't have a bed in my house. I slept on the floor. I have photos for all this. I'm going to put out a video about this soon. But this, it's like, so for attraction, it's not necessary. Now, for retention of a long-term partner, it is necessary because they want to make sure that you're going to be able to provide for their kids, right? So that's where it does come in. Obviously, by the time you're 35, you should have some income so that you can dedicate to having a life with women, right? And some women, they may just prefer guys that are of the mindset of ambition, right? Ambitiousness is attractive in and of itself, but you don't need money to be ambitious, right? I'm gonna just mute you because the background's kind of like sounds like a vortex is sucking. Okay. So that's for attraction. And then for lifestyle happiness, that what they found is that this stat was from like 2013, I think, but it's like $80,000 your happiness peaks because the marginal happiness that you gain from going from not having a car and needing a car to having a car is much bigger than that to the second car to the third car, etc. In fact, there's a book, you want to write down another one. It's called Richistan. And it's about these really rich people. And what they find is that the more stuff that they have and the more rich their life is, the more stressful it is and the shittier it is. This dude, he's like, if something goes wrong in my house, I can't even fix it. I have to talk to my housekeeper who will talk to my house manager talks to my other guy and coordinates it. And then they have to do it. Like, I can't do anything. And he's like, I got this boat. Now there's all these expenses. Then I have to go in for this license thing. And then it's just like, there's all this other like headaches that come with it. So ideally what you want is freedom. And that comes down to lowering your expenses and also increase your income. So like if your expenses are $10,000 a year and you make $100,000 a year, that means that every year you live, you get 9 bonus years from it where you don't have to work. Right? If you assuming the same level of spending. So that's part of it. I don't know if you wanted to, do you have some other things you wanted to say?
Yeah, how about like a private jet? Like there has to be benefits of getting more girls at the private jet.
Oh my God, dude.
I mean,
your brain, let me explain this. Your brain has been molded by Instagram to think that these things are important when they are not important at all. And do you know, I have messages from that guy. His name's like Credit on Instagram or something. He does the simpiest, gayest messages for girls. So he'll literally, his strategy is, he goes on a seeking arrangement and he goes, hey, I'm flying out to this place for a concert with backstage VIP passes. Do you want to come with me and my other 4 girls? And then she goes with him. But what does it say when you interpret yourself as so low value that you have to have a private jet and a backstage concert to attract these girls to be around you? Also, keep in mind, what are the type of girls that are going to be hanging out with you? Are they going to genuinely like you for you? Or are they going to like you because you have access to certain things? And that's one of the big crux of it all is like, if you want the way to find the best girls in life is to be yourself in terms of like, you've already gone through the game transformation process. You're a cool guy. You know how to meet girls. You know how to fuck. And you can project that energy and women connect to it. That's how you find women that truly love and respect you. And then you reward them. That's a much better way of going about it than giving all the rewards up front saying, I have no value, please. This is the way I attract you, is with material possessions because I don't understand evolutionary psychology. Versus I attract you with who I am, my behavioral cues. And then on top of that, I also have access to a cool life, I also like if we want to have children at a certain point, I've got that handled. And I'm not a billionaire. I don't have access to fucking Dan Bilzerian's house so that I can look like a cool kid on the internet to people who I don't hang out with. Yeah. And this is another thing. You know what Dunbar's number is?
No.
Okay. So Dunbar's number is 150 people. Your brain basically is wired to understand how 150 people interact. So it's actually 150 times 150. So the interactions between these people and that. So you need to be more hyper local. Think about the girls that are around you. Think about the friends that are around you. Think about your family and care about them. Don't care about what the perception of random people that I won't meet or don't know about think about me. What I found, and also those are the people who are gonna support you no matter what happens, is the people that are going to support you no matter what happens. So here's an example. I got canceled in Colombia. Every single person who knew me wrote me, dude, we know this is such bullshit. What the fuck? This is so stupid. I can't even believe what I'm reading. Like, dude, what is this? Everyone that doesn't know me, oh my God, it's true. He's the person of like, it's that old quote. It's like those that mind don't matter and those that matter don't mind. Right. So focus on the people around you that love and care for you, and focus on making actual genuine connections with girls, because that's how you're going to have fulfilling relationships. And the people that win at life are the people that have the most fulfilling relationships, not the people that get access. Hey, one time when I was 29, I got access to a bikini party. Hey, one time when I was 31, I was at backstage at. No one gives a single fuck. All that matters in life is forming strong connections with people that you care about and the experiences that you have with them. I don't know. That's my take. Is money important? Yes, to a certain extent, but there's diminishing returns. I'll even say it. Game is great to a certain point, but there's diminishing returns. When the added benefit of having a threesome over having a twosome is not that big. Right. And then when you go from threesome to foursome, it felt like nothing. It felt like there wasn't that much of a benefit at all, So it's cool to like have these certain aspirations, but I will tell you that they're very lame. Like once you're there, like and I'm telling you this because I thought the same things. Dude, it would be so awesome to have access to a yacht. Get access to it. I'm like, that was so much work for nothing. Like that was not that cool. Like it would be cooler to just it would have been cooler to just hang out like with one of these girls like by myself. You know what's actually cooler than going on the yacht was hanging out with the two girls and my friend afterward and just getting food. Like we went and got food and then we listened to like a live music and just walked around the area. That was cooler. So yeah, Dunbar's number. Only don't focus on like what these hyper niche celebrity. Who cares?
One more thing. How would you go about like I know like college is like a good opportunity to like socialize and like make new friends. What would be the best way to like take advantage of that to the most? Like
Take advantage of what?
Like your college experience and having people there that are like close to your age and
Yeah, I would if I could do college again, I'll just tell you what I would do, because I'm not like a college optimization expert, but I will say what I would have done differently if I was in college for all 4 years. Actually, I did some things that I thought were good. I joined groups that were around my interests, and I made friends through that. And I was in sports, and I started making friends through that. So I would just have continued those friendships and then organize like cool little trips for us. So like, I'd take like two or three of my friends and we just go like backpacking, to the Adirondacks or something cool in New York, or go to, dude, when the fall leaves change, like bring a girl out or bring a guy, like a couple friends or whatever, and go to what's that park? There's a park in Maine. I forget the name of it, but there's some national park in Maine on the coast that's really cool. I would do like cool backpacking stuff. I know New York is basically a series of rooms. It's just like you're either in a room or you're like in this dystopian nightmare outside. But yeah, I would do cool trip somewhere.
So just like try and connect with people through groups, and then, but how about like, is there any way to like just make friends without being in a group or something like that?
Of course. Yeah, you just bump into someone, and you start conversations, just be friendly, like have a friendly vibe, and like you just see someone, you're like, hey man, what's going on? I haven't met you yet. What's your name? Boom. One thing I think that Jack Demo talks about that's really good, and I lived with Jack Demo for like 3 months in Miami, and I saw him do this all the time. He just talks to everyone, right? He's at the jacuzzi, just hangs out. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? And just starts conversations, right? If you just start a lot of conversations, you're gonna bump into people that connect with you.
Yeah, that's funny. I thought Jack Denver was somewhere in Canada and you were in Miami. Apparently, you guys are like together. That's funny.
Yeah, 2021, he was in Miami.
That's funny. So yeah, just kind of like.
Cool, man. You made this live stream go over by an hour. It doesn't matter, dude. I don't care. I guess a lot of people liked my rant too. I got some W's. Logic.
Yeah, so basically,
what's your final counter argument about money? More money equals more happy.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense, kind of that. Like, you know what? I know that like people at the high levels, they have a lot of fake people around them, and you don't want that. It's just disgusting. But at the same time, it is nice to have money, but then it's worse to have people that you don't like around you.
Yeah. I will say the number one thing that money can buy you is freedom. Like ability to travel, ability to live where you want, options and choices on what you want to do. But like what I think the concept you don't get is that the marginal happiness of going from flying a commercial flight to a private jet is like not as substantial as not being able to fly to flying.
You know, there's like actual thing where you could catch 2 New Year's if you have a private jet and you fly to like the other side of the world.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I mean, that's a benefit, right?
So what you're doing is this is called the some benefit fallacy. It's like there is some benefit to doing almost anything. There's some benefit to spending 10 hours on Twitter every day. However, there are massive costs. So it's always the cost benefit that you have to look at, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to full debate mode. No, give me a counter argument, Daniel.
I mean, you didn't answer that one. Like, how about like Drake? Like, you get Drake to perform at your birthday. That's a lot of cool shit.
Okay. I'll just pretend that having Drake perform at your birthday somehow completes you. Yes. Okay. You win. No, it's not a very strong argument because what would be cooler than so do you have a bunch of close friends in Brooklyn right now?
So not, yeah. Kinda.
Okay. So having a great network of really close friends and girls that you can see would provide you with more happiness than seeing Drake perform.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
But how about like Drake and friends?
Okay. Sure. Okay, you win on that. Drake and friends. Yeah, so this was the stat. I think it depends on the city that you're in. It also depends inflation. So I think it's like probably like 110K now or something, or 120. So like, yeah, optimize your life, optimize your career. Like anyone here listening can make 10K a month as long as you pursue your career and you actually continue to work on it for like 5 years. So once you're at that point, it's like it diminishes after that. Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll end the chat there. I would like to tell you guys, you know what? I'll just say it. Go to my course, gametransformation.com, because probably by the time, put the banner at the bottom, probably by the time that most of you watch this, Kajabi will have fixed their issues and you can access the course. From what I understand right now, there's like tens of thousands of courses that are down. So I can't really do anything about it, but by the time you're watching this, it should be available. So click the link in the description, gametransformation.com. Daniel is our top coach throughout the entire course. What do you study?
Computer science.
Okay.
Yeah, programming. But I want to get into like machine learning and like AI.
Nice. Yeah. Smart.
Yeah, so I've been doing that on the side and like kind of using the computer science stuff to contribute to that.
Cool. All right. I want you to promise me 2 things, Daniel.
Yes.
Number 1, you're going to improve your game. And number 2, you're going to lift weights. Can you promise me these 2 things?
Am I that skinny, bro? Yeah, probably, right? Yeah, I promise. I promise. I was actually going to get into working out like really soon.
Okay. So I want you to take that very soon and I want you to make it today. So start today. Because what happens when you say very soon or tomorrow or next week is on a meta level, you just continually push it further and further and further. Versus if you say the time for change is now, it's going to, when tomorrow comes, you're not going to push it further. It's going to be now again. And then the next day comes and it's now. Try to hit like, a pretty decent period of just not breaking the chain 5 days a week.
All
right. You committed. Now you got to stay consistent. You committed, and this is on a live stream, so everyone knows this. So we're going to call you out.
All right. Hey, I'll post updates. So follow me on Instagram. Daniel, Burenko.
There we go. Cool. All right, man. Good talking to you. All right. Later, guys.
Later.